Good morning. My name is Jim Broatch, and it's my honor to serve as the Executive Vice President and Director of RSDSA. We are so happy to be here, and first of all, I wanted to thank someone on the ground here in the Bay Area, Caitlin Pinter-Stevens, in her support community. Does she have a following or what? That is great. I wanted to just point out, Deb, if we could just show the name tag.
Okay.
If you're blue, you're a carer. If you're red, you have the syndrome. Our job today is so often people come to our conferences and have never met another person with a syndrome. We want to change that. Okay, so I want you to learn a name, learn a story, connect, love each other. I mean it.
Yes.
Okay? We can't get by this alone. On behalf of RSDSA's Board of Directors, our staff and volunteers, I thank you for coming. We know it's so difficult for you to travel. We know it's so difficult for you to rise early, and we greatly appreciate that. I also want to thank our donors. We can't do this without the support of the community and corporations and individual donors. First, I'd like to thank Purdue Pharma LP. I'd like to thank Renee McGee, Ian Ferry, Sue and Jody Pinkham and Janessa and Carol Seaman, yard sale for RSDSA. They have done yard sales for 4 years for us, raised thousands of dollars to support our mission. The DeBruyn Medical Center, Dr. DeBruyn is here in the audience later today. Phyla Pagaris and the Bay Area Pain and Wellness Center, they're one of the sponsors, and they're also presenting today. And finally, Bertha Gorhams. I'd also like to introduce some people from our staff and board. Peter Moskowitz, standing in the back, handsome gentleman with a bow tie. He's the chairman of our board of directors. David Bond will be coming later. He is a board member from the Bay Area. Sharon Weiner. Sharon, are you here?
She's coming.
Sharon is the beautiful redhead, and she's the chair of our communications committee, and she's also on our board of directors, and she'll be presenting. There's Sharon. And I'd also like to introduce Christine Homa, who is our director of development. She's in the back. And I'd also like to acknowledge Alice Lowe, who is our filmmaker, and you might have seen a number of films that she's made over the years for us. One of them is on our website, which if you have not seen it, I want you to watch it. It's called CRPS Therapies, Clinicians Share Their Expertise. As we all know, that CRPS RSD is not taught in medical schools. It is rarely taught in PT, physical therapy, and occupational schools. So we, 2 years ago, developed a 40-minute instructional video to teach PTs and OTs how to treat this syndrome. It deals with what it is. It talks about brain-based treatments, brain motor imaging and mirror therapy. And it also talks about desensitization, which is so important. It talks about therapy is painful. How do you deal with flare-ups? So that's something if you haven't watched it, please watch it. If you're dealing with a therapist who's not familiar with it, we will send he or she a copy. It's so important. It's right on, if you're on our welcome page, rsdsa.org, it will pop up. Okay? This year, 2003, is a new beginning for our organization. This January, we adopted a new mission statement. Our mission is to support, educate, and provide hope, underline, for all those affected by the pain and disability of CRPS RSD, and to drive research for better treatments and a cure. We're in the process now of transitioning from a dues-paying membership to a community to all affected by CRPS. There's an article in our newsletter that talks about that. If you haven't joined our community, it's free. We want you to do that, and it's on our website. In your bag, we put in the newsletter explaining that. We also put in a donation envelope. And I encourage everyone here to consider making a donation to our organization. It could be a small gift, or it could be a sacrificial gift. We are dependent on the generosity of our community, and we urge you to give. We also put in there a note about the virtual walk. This June, on June 30th, for the 8th year, people with CRPS and their carers and our staff will walk in Central Park for the Achilles Walk for Hope and Possibility. We are the largest not-for-profit group in New York City, and we're encouraging people from across the country to join us, not New York, but in your communities. And I want to just take a moment and have Casey Cashman, who is the head of our volunteer head of our Achilles, just to say a moment. You can stay there, Jill.
Oh, all right, good. I can't walk that fast. I probably don't even need a microphone. I'm just saying, they are, listen, welcome to the show, everybody. No, thank you guys, though, for being patient with us out front there. Yes, this year's Achilles Walk. I'm very excited. The first year that I'll be the chairman of it. We are trying to cover all 50 states. We do already have somebody in Canada as well who is going to participate virtually. It does not need to be a big thing. It can simply be you guys walk a lap around your block. You go to the gym for an hour. All it is about raising awareness to the community that you guys are actually living in and helping to raise money for us. So it can be as big or as small as you guys would like it, and I am here to help in any way that I possibly can. So please consider being a virtual walker or attending in New York.
What's our goal, Casey?
The goal that I have set is $100,000. So we're getting there. I think we're about $40,000 right now. So that's our goal.
And Casey is our 4th largest fundraiser?
Yes.
Speaking about money, the other day we got a blessing in an email from Kimberly Clark. We received a $5,000 grant, and I'll tell you a little story. Bob Lane, who is a father of 4 boys, his wife tragically committed suicide. You know, we talk. You know, that's the elephant in the room that we don't talk about with this syndrome. And he got involved with us, and he works for a division of Kimberly Clark, and he gave me the right people to contact, and we got a $5,000 grant, and we're investing it in a fund. It's a patient assistance fund in honor of Brad Jenkins. It's something we started last year. It's a small fund, and it provides emergency financial assistance. We want to grow that exponentially. One of the things we did this week, which just warms my heart, is that someone donated 2 scooters. A wonderful woman in New York drove 2 hours, picked up the scooters. We're paying to ship 1 to Iowa so that a mother could go to her son's graduation. And so, if you know of anyone who needs a little help, then just send us an email, and it's not on our website, and we process it. Dr. Chopra is one of the people who reviews the applications, and I encourage you. Another program you might not know about is that there's a wonderful woman in North Carolina. Her name is Jeannie Quackenbush. She has CRPS, and she has it in her hands. She decided that for her therapy, she would crochet shawls. And so she gave us, there's so many boxes. She does it every month. They come and say, "Oh no!" So I encourage you. So what happens when someone calls us and they're desperate and they're alone and they're without support? We send them a shawl, and we all do a positive note on that. So Mimi got one. So basically, if you know of someone who needs a little hug, let us know. Okay. Finally, I just want to give you a little, for the past 4 years, RSDSA has sponsored 2 international scientific conferences that were funded by corporations and individual donors. Next year, we're going to have one in Chicago. Let me read you the name that is unbelievable, but I'll say it in plain English. We're going to have a CRPS pathophysiology, research, synthesis, and direction. In plain English, we intend to discuss the best knowledge and evidence regarding what we know about CRPS, combine the implications in disease and as to disease mechanism, treatment targets, and move forward. We know that the treatments of today cannot be those of tomorrow. So that's what we're doing. I want to end again, thank you for coming. It's our goal to try to make it as comfortable as possible. I know some people are cold, some people are hot in here. It's very difficult to moderate that atmosphere in here. But I just want to end with a quote that guides my service to CRPS. There always is not a solution to suffering, but there is always a positive response. Today is RSD's positive response. Thank you and welcome. Now, the real business. Dr. Chopra. Dr. Chopra, in my kind words, is a saint. There's physicians and there's healers. Dr. Chopra is a healer. He is a Harvard trained. He practices in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Almost every day, I will call him and ask him to call a doctor on behalf of someone with CRPS, and he has. And so many of you in your room have had the pleasure to talk with him. He is just a wonderful man, and he has asked for more time, and hopefully we can bear it. So, Dr. Chopra.